I'm gonna ask about the prime candidate, and James, you lying son of a... Still though.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
He doesn't know anything about it, so never
Thank you.
mind.
Probably
I'll
be back
catch you in
later.
your life soon there. Let's talk to you, Brandon.
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
Prime candidate magic.
What are prime candidates?
The best of the bunch. The peaches.
And so what does it mean to be a prime candidate?
Success. We have a special relationship with many major international companies. We provide them with our best students. And they get an instant job.
And what do you get out of it?
Well, it's a little kickback. It's just business, Inspector.
But that's because these people are willing to push moral grounds. Oh dear. Let's see. Prime candidates are the best students. Prime candidates get a well-paid job. Atlas receives a kickback payment.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
There might be some contradiction there, but I'm more curious right now to learn about some of this other stuff. It's a little bit fishy that the best students are the ones that have the grayest moral ground.
Ask you a couple more things, please. Do you know what a prime candidate is?
At Atlas, is the best student.
And what does that mean?
It means they get a guaranteed job with a very good salary. Well, that's the idea anyway.
But?
Mostly they aren't up to it.
What happens then?
They get sacked.
That's all for the moment, thank you.
Okay. Alright. Time to do this. Go into the woods, because I actually have not gone through the woods yet, so I'm going to look around. That's a dark lake. I'll go backwards anyway. Through the woods I go. Go into the jetty? Sure, I'll check out the jetty. It's just gotten foggier and foggier as the game's gone on. Let's continue. Anything in the clearing? Oh, there is something here.
Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You can push it all the way in, Tom, if you want to. Excellent, Tom.
Excuse me. Would someone care to tell me exactly what's going on here?
Don't come any closer.
That man needs a doctor.
No, he doesn't.
I don't need a doctor. I'm fine. Go away.
What is this?
A test.
Of what?
What does it look like? It's a threshold test. A pain threshold test. I thought, you were supposed to be good at working things out. Inspector Jenks.
And so this would be for Atlas, would it? Kyle?
You disappear now.
It's not a good idea to talk to a police inspector like that.
Do you want me to make you?
It's okay, Tom. Mr. Jenks won't be bothering us anymore.
Don't make any rash commitments. Well, well. You really should take more care of your things, Ryan. Is your keys, Kyle?
No.
So that's threshold testing, is it? Sticking a skewer through your hand? I could just ask Ryan or Paul directly about this, but I think I'll bide my time. See what I can do with this key fob first.
Alright. A carved key fob was found in the woods, dropped by Kyle. I have an idea where this goes to. So before I go directly there, I guess I'm gonna go to the woods. We got people to ask things about. Let's roll. Let's quick travel. I'll start here. Up the way. Let's talk,
Just a few
James.
more questions, if you don't mind.
I don't have any idea.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
I gotta keep walking. To the West Lane. Behind the roots. I'm guessing it opens up this car. I might be wrong. Oh, the car got some rain on it since the last looked interesting. Let's try this. Again, completely legal. Don't question.
Bingo. Well, Ryan, what have you been up to? Be very interesting to see how he explains this one.
Oh, we quit and close a car door. Anyways. Let's go. Checking things out. I think it's pretty bright being 11 p.m. as well.
Ask about a few more things, please.
Yeah, he doesn't know
Thank
anything.
you. Probably be back later.
I got a few questions to ask until they kill me off because I know way too much. Going on. I've seen horror movies like that. To the west. See if he has anything to say about
Couple
these.
more questions, if that's okay.
With a $500 for Kate.
Now, why do you think Ryan might want to give Kate a cheque for £500?
I've really no idea. Where did you find it?
Just outside.
You better ask him.
You think Ryan was interested romantically in Kate?
I know he has a weakness for blondes, but I didn't think it had gone so far as his offering them cash.
Well,
That's it for the time being, thank you.
yeah, I can't mention I found in his car, or else I might be going to jail. Oh. This detective is breaking a few laws to solve this case. Okay. That's what it is. His heart's in the right place.
A few more questions, please. Thank you. Probably be back later.
There you go, expert.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
That's how I meant to do.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Just keeps on ringing the bell and coming back. Yeah.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
In the brightest part of the year, it might be bright until like late 9, early 10 p.m. at the brightest part of the year where I live. But not past 11 p.m. It would not be this bright at 11 p.m.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
I mean, I know no one's gonna really be able to answer besides Ryan and not Brian, whatever his name is.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
Time to teleport myself through the woods. Okay, I'll do it from here. Time to go check it out. This town is also surprisingly awake for it to be 11 p.m. Does no one have work tomorrow? And nothing by the TV, I'm guessing? Probably not. Doesn't seem like it. Let's go back. Let's go investigate these people. I'll talk to Ryan in a second. 2 things to check out. First of all, the creepy room. Surprised, the creepy room is still creepy. Okay. Stairs. Guess we can go inside here. Still a weird room. Now let's talk to Ryan.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
A few things to ask about, actually.
Know anything about poppy pods? Come across anyone selling them or anything?
Poppy pods? Well, don't tell anyone, Inspector, but I hear that you can make opium out of those. Why do you ask?
Doesn't matter. Now, tell me what a prime candidate is.
You're learning a lot, aren't you, Inspector? Prime candidates are simply the best students, the ones with the most potential.
And what benefits do they get from that?
Well, they get the top job.
Which is?
Well, we have a deal with various multinationals. We train students to be exceptional, truly exceptional. And they get a wonderful top job. It seems a very simple deal.
And how do you decide who the prime candidate is? Do you test students?
No.
Did you ever, say, ask Simon to test Kate, for instance?
Oh, you've actually been speaking to Simon, haven't you? I really wouldn't trust anything that Simon Thompson says. You know, he spent the best part of 2 months trying to undermine Kate. No. Now, Simon Thompson, it really isn't my place to speculate, but if you're looking for motives, Inspector, he certainly had a few motives. More than I.
A motive to kill her, do you mean?
Now, that's very interesting, Inspector. Well, that's up to you to decide.
Would you like to explain what this is, please, Ryan? £500 intended for Kate. It fell out of your car. At least I assume that's your car on the driveway at Brandon House.
I suppose so.
So why were you going to give Kate £500, Ryan?
It was just a little incentive, that's all. Just a little incentive.
Not very little, Ryan. £500.
She was a very good student. We heard that she was leaving. We wanted to give her something.
But you didn't.
Well, obviously not.
Are you sure there wasn't any other reason you might want to give her this? Personal reason?
No!
Well, I'd like to keep hold of this for a little while, if you don't mind.
Well, don't consider it a bribe, will you, Inspector?
But he said Harry Kate wanted to know what the reason for giving Kate the money. He had said something about this earlier. Let's see if I can find it. Last case, I came to the course for I didn't suspect she had any emotional problems. Okay, that's the license. Bird cage is symbol used on the course. It's brought freedom necklace. Runes around the necklace. Notice about window. Prevent injury. Make friends stylist here. Symbol. Symbol of the mask represents the triple goddess. Nice the course. Is no pub. Respect first name. What know that. Doesn't believe anything supernatural now. Leaves him happy. How to be used. Phrase. Ryan investigate. Phrase. Ryan well based on background psychology. Leaves look like shot bags. There's no one with plans. Rebecca would know. Has no interest in drugs. Has no drugs alcohol. So doesn't keep medication. To pay aliens. Aliens installment fee. James Hurricanes the Third Eye main. Never used DCD machines at Atlas Third Eye. Doll burning Sarah occurs. Students create dolls on them for a month. Cleans eye autopsies part. Doesn't really work. Has a bonding guitar in years. Does the costume shop. Course teaches students how to act. Party includes wearing costumes. All students should shock. Student that's not a suicide. People do what they like. This is access for a refund. Doesn't know at least several at least so was alone at the end of the lane. It's at least their opinion. Let's just start techniques. It's prompt to introduce aptitude test. Content for cupboards. Lock. Arthritis. Sorry, no things for machine because they're in locked room. Has so consistent. It starts in the key ring. Lots of stolen. Storerooms particularly secure. But students keep valuables with them. Mirror uses by students. Mirror unlocked. Poppy seeds. Attracted. Best student becomes prank candy. Prank students get a very good job. Students are tested. Never assigned to test. There's something about this which is contradictory. Oh, where was it? I missed it. Students aren't bribed in any way. Oh, jeez, I missed it when I was just skimming. I missed it. Okay, I was just skimming though. That's in the course. Okay, sorry, poppy pots. I'm sorry. When I say poppy, I think of poppy seed muffins, and I'm like, oh, poppy seed muffins. I like poppy seed muffins. So I'm sorry. I know it's poppy pods. That's how I make opium. It's just whenever I say the word poppy, I think of poppy seeds, and I think about poppy seed muffins. So that's why I've been saying poppy seeds. It's a subconscious thing. Of course, it involves teaching students how to act. I did not see it. Plays autopsy, not a major part of the course. Students aren't covered in bright. There it is.
Aha. So, students aren't coerced or bribed in any way, except Kate.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You said you were going to give Kate the £500 as an incentive. That's coercion, isn't it?
I really don't think you could call it coercion, Inspector. It was an incentive, that's all, a little encouragement.
So, how often do you use incentives?
Okay, incentive is probably the wrong word. The money was just to see how Kate would respond. It was part of her assessment.
Assessment?
We have to assess students as they progress. We don't use conventional methods like sitting an exam or anything like that. People pay for this course per session. We have to know if they're committed or not.
So you're assessing their progress and testing their commitment?
Yes, we are. We have to. This is a business, not a charity.
So Ryan's claiming the money was part of Kate's assessment. And did this assessment also involve threshold testing, I wonder? Or was the money for something else?
Those aren't course derived anyway. Okay. Money meant little incentive for Kate. There has to be more here though. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
No, I'll be right back immediately. I'm just gonna do something dumb. I'm gonna run to the phone booth. Save me, Chief. Alright, you did say... Okay. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Yet students were tested. You're right. I didn't want to glance through everything, so I was like, oh... I'm back!
A couple more questions.
I just ran halfway across town, actually all the way across town, for no good reason. Yeah, very good job. Since we're testing, they're running Kate. Where was the thing about there? She gives you hints. Mask, okay, so the last represents triple goddess. These are the cores. Doesn't use the argument in the pub. It's usually at least rentless. Poster designed for agency. It's the first poster. Okay, doesn't test students. Doesn't test students. Because I do remember him saying that. Look like chopped tea bags. Doesn't know anything about plants. Just Rebecca would know. Had no interest in drugs. No students ever brought drugs to that list. No drugs. Doesn't keep any medicine on site. Alice is formerly called Third Eye. Third Eye is investigating aliens' deaths. So they pay aliens' death. James Arcana Third Eye mean. Never use CTC machines at Atlas or Third Eye. Doll burn ceremonies occurs every few weeks. Wasn't one to ask her about the model. Claims autohypnosis is a big part of the course. Autohypnosis techniques being phased out. Believes autohypnosis doesn't really work. Gave Kate money to test assessor. Students pay for the course per session. This isn't it, but... Novels, Mario Stats, which is the once edition for a band called Hammerstone. Where was this? Costume shop, course, involves teaching students how to act. Let's see. Paul stunts part of the shock aspect of the course. Notice Paul went too far. Stunt not related to Liam's suicide. When his Sam crazy on Liam, doesn't blame over Liam's death. He was trying to outgoing. I'm trying to remember what that was too, because I do remember saying it. Follows the car. Lisa says how this was she is. Doesn't know why. So this lives at the end of the lane. Lisa was in psychological problems. So it's not sensitive for Lisa. Private let's do some disabling. To strengthen these, it's prompting to choose aptitude tests. I mean, no, I didn't think that was it, but still. This is Rebecca. Has arthritis. Takes morphine. Everything knocks in upstairs. IT consultant. Never keyring. Laptop taken to storeroom. Storeroom is particularly secure. Private students keep items with them. A few rooms a month. Best students become parents. Students are tested. There it is. Alright, now the other thing. There we go. Finally found it.
Well, which one is it, Ryan? Do you test students or not?
Well, some of them, yes.
Including Kate?
Yes.
Why was she being tested?
She was being tested because we wanted to see if she was good enough to become prime candidate, okay?
So Kate was in the running to be prime candidate?
Yes!
And did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, I did. But I didn't ask him to do anything stupid. He knew it was against course rules.
How far did you ask him to push her?
I didn't ask him to push her. I asked him to test her. There's a huge difference! If Simon decided to give her too much caffeine or morphine or whatever, that's his responsibility. So if he did anything wrong, it was his own responsibility. He did it with his own mind and his own hand. We had nothing to do with it!
Midnight, and still no suspect, unless you count everyone I've interviewed. It's no surprise that Ryan wants to avoid any suggestion of being responsible for Kate's death, but I wonder if the man protests just a little too much.
Lie on there. Start at the end of the lane. Back to the woods. We gotta go from person to person. Make sure there's nothing here. Gotta go up and down and all around. And in the greenhouse. Let's see. For midnight, this is incredibly bright. Very blue, though. Let's go up further. But since this is maybe the final hour, that's because we're breaking into 1 a.m., this is probably close to the end of the game, regardless, but yeah. This is either the final hour or we're going to get to 1 a.m. We'll have to find out which. I did not mean to go back. Fuck. Okay. Let's go on down. It just happens to be the longest day of the year. Don't pay any mind.
More questions, please. Thank you. Thank you. Probably be back later.
James, I know you're wrong, but I don't. Fuck you. Now then. Let's go to West Lane. And yeah. Let's talk to him.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Let's ask him about this.
Was Kate a prime candidate?
Well, as Ryan has probably already told you, yes, she was.
Did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, it's company policy. Leaders don't get involved.
And it covers your back, of course.
Well, nobody knows the students better than they do, Inspector. It's much better to let them just work it out among themselves.
It isn't very professional to force students to test each other to the point where one of them gets killed, Paul.
We don't force students to do anything that they don't want to do, Inspector.
So you don't force them into being tested?
No, we don't encourage anybody to hurt or offend anybody else here.
You don't use threshold testing, for instance?
No. If Simon Thompson went too far with Kate, that's his responsibility, not ours. He's the one you should be speaking to, if truth be told. I don't trust him myself.
I didn't spot immediate contradictions, but he touched on things that he talked about later. Students not encouraged to hurt each other. Don't use the threshold testing. Oh, that's true. That's fair. Leaders don't get involved in testing students. Kate was being tested for a prime candidate. Students not encouraged to hurt each other. The CD thing? Maybe. I'll try something. Why is the music doing that thing? I guess the sound effect. Sorry, I was just saying something with the music. Let's see. I think that's in the shopping bag. Ah. Connects, I guess.
You say you don't endorse threshold testing, that's the phrase, isn't it?
Yes.
Except you do, Paul, because you told me that the students use that CD in the mirror room. I've listened to that CD, and it very clearly mentions threshold testing. You keep batting this away, Paul. We don't really use hypnosis. The students aren't really tested, but I am this close to launching a full-scale investigation.
Look, we get a kickback from these students, and they have to be exceptional. Of course we have to test them. That doesn't mean we do anything illegal. What do you think we do? Bump off the ones we don't like?
Well, that depends on how far you push them, doesn't it?
Well, we certainly don't kill them. Nobody here wanted Kate dead.
I'm sure they didn't. But what do you expect, Paul, when you put students under that much pressure?
She was a very, very valuable student. She was worth a lot to the business.
Really? And how much would that be?
But if you really want to know, 50 grand.
She was worth 50 grand?
Yes.
What, you were selling her?
Of course we were selling her. You don't get this, do you? We make perfect employees. Month after month. That's all we do.
What do you mean, perfect employees?
What big business needs, Inspector? more than anything else, is none of this altruistic, goody-goody crap. What we look for is people with ambition, no ethics, push, greed is good, all right? We don't deal with all this comfort stuff. The survival of the fittest, that's all there is. There's no higher purpose, no big plan. There's nothing at the end of the rainbow, except what you have and you can enjoy in the here and now.
And what do you enjoy now, Paul?
You're going to have to excuse me, Inspector. I'm a very busy man. I've got work to do.
I'll see myself out. Lovely man, your father.
Shut the gate on your way out.
He's doing his level best to shut this place down. Get rid of him.
He's a policeman. We can't just...
You saw this, right? You man up and you sort it. Tonight.
That doesn't sound good. Two totally morally bankrupt men are plotting to get rid of me. It's midnight. I don't have any backup and I don't even have a mobile phone. This is potentially quite bad. And what's Kyle got to do with it? I think I might make my way over to Atlas while Ryan isn't there. Maybe lock myself in.
I'm going to investigate a little bit, though. Because it's me. There we go. And resume. Thanks for watching the video. I'd very much appreciate if you take a moment to consider donating to my Patreon, which I am using to try and make this more of a livelihood, not just for missed game videos, but little games I make in my own time, and to bring different types of videos to the channel. You can find the link for my Patreon in the description below, or in the video, obviously. If you'd be interested in seeing me recording gameplay videos and doing other things live, I stream quite regularly and record almost all my gameplay over at a site called Hitbox TV on my channel. You can also see that in the video currently. Hope you enjoyed the video, and adieu.